Hi, I'm in Brandon, Manitoba at the Manitoba Watersheds Conference. I'm here with Oscar Molina. He's a research scientist with Agriculture and Agri-Food Canada out of Morton. Oscar, you had a very interesting project this summer. It looked at drone seeding of cover crops, and I saw some of the results out near Honest, Manitoba. Tell me a little bit about your project.
Well, the project is part of the Living Lab Manitoba, where we have a number of different projects kind of working towards carbon sequestration and finding sort of practices that will help us with climate change. So the cover crops idea was mostly to try to take cover crops to, I would say, the next level, to give them opportunity in Manitoba in areas where normally growers are hesitant to plant cover crops because of many different challenges that they face every year.
And which cover crops did you actually plant?
Well, at this time we were focusing on cover crops that were going to fit our idea of using a drone.
Okay.
So there is actually particular characteristics that we need these cover crops to fit in order to use it for the drums. And the overall goal was to have cover crops that will help us to increase carbon in the soil. So with the drums, we were kind of focusing mostly on small seeded cover crops, and we were sort of kind of working with brassicas, particularly turnips and radishes, and clovers as well.
And I noticed some of those crops were doing much better than others as well. It looked like the turnips and the radishes were more productive, it seemed.
Yes. One of the challenges at some point was the lack of moisture.
Okay.
So we tried to work with the rain, but obviously that's something that we cannot control, right? And even then, when we had a little bit of rain, the clovers had to work harder in order to establish. But there wasn't enough for them to kind of establish and grow.
Okay.
But the radishes and the brassicas overall, they actually did much better. And actually the grower who was working with us, he pointed out, the turnips actually did much better than the radishes. So it's something that we kind of wanted to look into like more in depth to see what is happening there, and something that we'll probably kind of test again next year.
Okay. One thing I noticed as well in your presentation, there was a bit of comparison about the cover crops that were planted with a traditional planter and what was done with the drone. Can you talk a little bit about that and the large difference that was there?
Yeah, the main idea to have these two treatments were to prove our idea of using a drone will give us more time for cover crops to grow and to produce more biomass. So the best way we thought was, okay, let's compare the traditional way, which will be kind of going after harvest and plant the cover crops, and versus seeding with the drums. And that was sort of kind of the idea behind. Initially, we were planning on comparing with no cover crops, but this actually gave us a much better understanding of the benefits of using a drum to seed cover crops. And that's what we actually saw in some of the pictures, where the drum proved to help us to give plants more time to grow and to produce more biomass.
You mentioned one of the challenges in the Manitoba project is there was some moisture issues initially. You had to kind of, I think, delay your seeding to a certain degree. It was a bit too wet. Is there any other challenges that you felt that were in the project that maybe surprised you?
Well, pretty much the rain, it was something interesting because it was a challenge for the project, but also at the same time, it was an opportunity to show how good could be seeding with a drum.
Right.
Because obviously we got an opportunity to compare like a really long window for cover crops to grow versus a small window planting after harvest. Other challenges is that because of the drought conditions in Manitoba, sometimes in some of the fields where we were working, weeds were a little bit out of control. And that gave us an opportunity also to learn that under those circumstances, seeding with a drum, these cover crops are not going to work well. So those are kind of the challenges that we are seeing, but at the same time, the opportunities to learn more towards using the drones for cover cropping.
Great. That's terrific. Is there anything you wanted to add that I didn't ask you about today in your presentation?
Well, actually, something that I was expecting is that people would probably ask, okay, so what's next?
Oh, sure, yeah.
We have been already kind of talking with a few growers. They are excited to kind of take this to again next year. maybe try with different crops. Like this year we were kind of growing into wheat crops.
Okay.
Next year we were sort of kind of thinking, can we do it with soybeans, which kind of brings a completely different setup. At the same time, we are kind of wondering, okay, which cover crop should we use? Because normally, and one of the most common cover crops used here in Manitoba is fall rye. But since the results that we have collected so far that are telling us, okay, turnips do a really good job. So we are sort of kind of in that kind of point where we are sort of kind of trying to make decisions on what treatments we wanted to try next time.
Right.
And well, we will kind of go from here and start again the co-development process to see where the project can take us.
That's the experimentation phase of research, of course, yeah.
Yes, it is. And it's actually with this addition or the opportunity with Living Labs that is working with the growers. So that can allow us to do some real work, like a real life work with growers. So that's actually something that, I feel passionate about it.
Perfect. Well, terrific. Pleasure meeting you, Oscar. Good luck in your research. Thanks
Thank
for
you very
being
much.
here. Bye.
Goodbye.